Right, a break from Mavis the Tea Lady on the YouTube Jackboxx channel. I've got two others. I've got Ralph's House, a few of you know that one, and the other one is The Factory. But this is my kind of miscellaneous channel, and it tends to be more VW related. I might move all the Mavis ones somewhere else actually at some point. Anyway, the reason I'm doing this video today is because partly because I was watching Ken Wilford's live stream from New Jersey in the States. I do like Ken's videos; they're good, they're so informative, and also because he's sort of stateside. You know, here in the UK, it would be difficult to buy parts from the US because, of course, the postage is so extraordinarily high. I'm always hopeful that Biden will see the sense in creating some better business link with the UK, because a lot of the products the Americans make are really good. I mean, they just leave the stuff from the Far East standing. But the problem we've got is the postage is so high, you know, the shipping. And a two-way thing would work really well, work well for the States and work well for us. Anyway, that's by the by. So I was watching that, and also my friend Stephen Mitchell, who I talked to on Facebook Messenger a fair bit, and John Burkett. Hi, John. I just thought I would show you this because I picked it up a few years ago. I can't remember if I bought it or somebody actually gave it to me. It may have been Martin from the Pikey Meets. I think very likely. I get on very well with Martin because Martin was VW trained and worked on these things in his youth, and whereas I was a backstreet mechanic, but strangely the pair of us agree on so much. Anyway, you want to know what's in here, don't you? This is not the Bentley, it is not the Haynes manual or any other manual. This is the VW manual, and I may be up for selling it, who knows. But let's sort of go through it, and I can't go through it in great detail because it is massive. Right, but we'll start at the beginning just to give you an idea. I do know that on the inside cover we've got one whole manual just on the fuel injection engine, 1.9 litre. So I presume Digideck, would that apply to the 2.1? I guess it would. Then we've got maintenance, which, right, or did you want to look in this one? Yeah, maybe you do. I know this is going to be a long video, and it's not going to be very professional because I'm really not set up for it this morning. I'm trying to do bits on Ralph's house, to be honest. But anyway, oh gosh, these are so concise. They make the Bentley just look amateur because you've got all the facts and the figures. You know what I mean? All the VW facts and figures and the correct tools for doing the jobs. Yeah, we've all been here, haven't we? Yeah, so I hope you're watching, Ken. And I know it's annoying because you just want to think, well, what's over that page? What's that bit? Yeah, so that's the fuel injection, and I guess in a lot of ways it will apply to others in the same line, even though it's specifically for injection. The rest of the engine pretty much run the same. So anyway, we've got that one. All right, let's just set that one aside for a minute. Like I say, then we've got the maintenance one, which I guess is all checking your oil and yeah, there's quite a bit. Yeah, that's all general maintenance, only, you know, in depth and by the book and how the way VW suggest it. 1.6 litre carburetor engine, that's going to be the air-cooled ones, isn't it? They're going to be sort of 79ish onwards, because originally with the T25 or the Vanagon, when they first brought them out, they fitted air-cooled engines, and they were really a test more than anything. And basically the air-cooled engine was the Beetle engine, bored up and flattened down. It's like a suitcase engine, isn't it? But they're 1.6, very underpowered, I can tell you. In my early days as a mechanic, I used to service a lot of those, and I used to dread it when I used to have to do one of those. Especially they said, oh, it hasn't got a lot of oomph. No, well, it won't now. A bit like the diesel. 1.6, is it? Yeah, so we've got one on the 1.6 engine. That will be the air-cooled one. 2 litre carburetor engine. I would guess that that's going to be the air-cooled one. Yeah, well, you remember you have to balance those carburetors up on those. Yeah, I had one. Incidentally, I had, I don't know what they call them stateside, but I had the first T25 I ever bought was a panel van, and I paid 50 quid for it. And I remember going across Norfolk, which is, if you live in the States, it's a bit like driving across Holland. It's very flat, and but you know, the roads are straight, but they're sort of undulating, and I was just amazed by the suspension in this thing. That's what got me hooked on the T25. And then after that, I bought a double crew cab, so you've got 2 seats up front and 3 behind. And sorry, I should turn pages at the same time, shouldn't I? Look at this stuff. Yeah, and I bought a crew cab, and it had that awful 2 litre air-cooled engine, which even now it's really difficult to get parts for, difficult to work on. And anyway, I pulled the engine, and so I'd got the engine bay with the gearbox just sitting there, and I kept looking at the bell housing, and I used to have, well, I still have a friend who lives in Walton on the Naze, called Frank Grota, German, and he goes in and out of Germany all the time. And I rang him up and I said, Frank, and he said, yeah. I said, I've got the engine out on this T25, and the bell housing looks the same to me as a Type 2. He said, well, bring it over. He said, no, in actual fact, he said, I've got a flat 2, I've got to, and then he went, yeah, he went back through the stores and he said, I've got both gearboxes, come over and let's have a look. And we looked, and sure enough, they were identical. The only difference was we had to change the flywheel, I think. But what I did is I put a regular Beetle engine in a crew cab with bigger barrels, bigger pistons, changed the camshaft so it was better for hill climbing. That's the way. I didn't want something that raced along. I wanted something that had real grunt at low speeds. And it was a huge success. It almost pulled wheelies, that thing. I always used to have it loaded up with wood. Anyway, that's by the by. And then later on I got an 85 Caravelle, which I've still got, but it's going to have to be off the road for quite a while now. Look at this stuff. Oh, VW tool, bet it is. VW 8-on-1. Yeah, VW 161A. Even if you don't have the tools, you know what they look like. Do you see what I mean? So some of them, I'm sure, you could fabricate. I'd love to have that toolkit though. Someone somewhere's got it. Surely they haven't all been put in the bin. So that was the 2 litre engine. Let's skip that because I was only a fraction of the way through that. Look, body repair work. Yeah, this is August 79 onwards, so would cover the range, I would think. The slight differences, sliding door, that sort of thing. Let's have a look, rather than go for every page. Or is this an overview of all of them? Oh, it is, yeah. So we've got a lot here. This is what we've got in this manual. Automatic gearbox. So this would be the body repair work. Yep, got that rear door, sliding roof, bumpers, trim panel, seat frames. Then you've got heating and ventilation. You've got the electrical system, which will cover all of that, including the dash clocks. Yeah, so that was the body repair work. That's the running gear. And if you've seen all this, you can say, look, I've seen all this, Ralph. Well, that's all right, you don't need to watch, do you? But you know, it's got everything. Look, this is what they used at VW. Great stuff, isn't it? Some really good diagrams in it as well. Trailing arms, that sort of stuff. Have you ever tried to get the bushes out of a trailing arm? Do you know how we did it on mine? We gas-acked them out. You know, oxyacetylene, burnt them until they came out. But we got them out. Yeah, they are difficult. A lot of bushes actually I found on VWs, especially on the running gear, is just get an electric drill. Drill the hell out of the bush until it's so weak you can pop it out. That's the quickest way I've found to do it anyway. Yeah, brakes and mechanism. So yeah, they want to heating. So I've covered all these, but they're all in their own separate manuals and in great depth. So I won't go too much more because I know you want to just pick this manual up and have a look yourself. I don't blame you for that. But that's what it is. That's the VAG manual, and I may sell it because I don't think I particularly need it now. It has proved enormously useful over the years, but a rare thing, wouldn't you say? There you go, that's what it is.